And now we will begin our second topic, the Atman by Swami Sarvapriyananda.
Thank you, Mataji. I offer my pranams to Revered Mataji, to Revered Swami Atmarupanandaji, and my namaste to all of you gathered here virtually. As Swamiji was saying earlier, we are all grateful to Mataji and her wonderful team for organizing these excellent programs year after year. This time the theme is knowledge and action, and based on the Bhagavad Gita. And surprise, surprise, I think Mataji wanted me to take the Jnana Yoga part of it, and I was more than willing. That happens to be sort of my favorite thing. So what I will do is, I'll speak for a short while on the subject which we have for the first session, which is the Atman, and then we'll interact. This was supposed to be an in-person program, and because of the uncertainties regarding the COVID situation, Mataji, I think wisely, she made it a virtual program, and which also enabled lots and lots of people from around the world to participate. One of the disadvantages of being on Zoom is that we are subject to lots of distractions. Distraction is poison in spiritual life. One way to retain attention and to remain engaged is, I think, questions, the discussion, which is also very important in the path of knowledge, which is called mananam, which is reflection on what we have heard. So what I'll do is, I'll speak for a short while, about 30 minutes, the allotted time, and then we'll have a lot of question answer after that. I'll start with the chant. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness unto light. Lead us from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. I think what Swamiji has said in the earlier session provides me with a wonderful segue into what I'm going to say now. He spoke about why Sri Krishna introduced the whole Bhagavad Gita, the entire teachings, with the teaching of self-knowledge. And this session will be about that teaching. Exactly what did he teach? And can we get that teaching summarized directly now? This session is also important in the sense that whatever I'll do today and tomorrow will build upon it. Probably, though, if you take away one thing from these sessions, you can take away this particular, the set of teachings that we're going to talk about right now. That's absolutely essential. That's the core of Vedanta. That's the foundation of everything else that comes. The path of knowledge is unique. Why so? You see, it is not very difficult to understand devotion, for example. Most traditional religions, especially the theistic religions, the God-oriented religions, they talk about devotion. We understand what is meant. What is meant by devotion is God and love of God, worship and faith and adoration. In fact, the name for religion in this country is faith. So that is a belief in God or a set of beliefs. It also means temples and churches and rituals and icons and images and music, nice food, and all of that. Festivities, holy places, holy times. So all of that, it's not difficult to understand. That is the path of devotion. That's the path of faith, belief, worship. The path of meditation also is not difficult to understand, at least not difficult to understand what is going on there. Meditation is very popular today, especially in the West, here in the United States, especially the kind of mindfulness meditation, which is very popular. So we have the idea of sitting quietly, not engaging with the world, turning attention inwards, controlling and focusing attention, or just being aware, calming the mind down. We understand what's going on in meditation. Karma yoga is also not very difficult to understand. I mean, people have a general idea of doing good to the world and doing it altruistically, selflessly. What is the path of knowledge is either not understood or even misunderstood. What is the path of knowledge? The path of knowledge tells us that we are ignorant about reality. Specifically, we are ignorant about ourselves. We do not know what we are, who we are, or what we are. We think we do. The first thing that we think we know is ourselves. If you ask me, so who are you? What do you say about yourself? I think I know. I know I'm Swami Sarvapriyananda, and I can prove it to you. My passport and my ID says that, and I have a resume. We can give out our work experience and all our whole life story. I think we think the best thing that we know, the thing that we know best is ourselves. What is all this about not knowing who we are? That's the first objection. The second objection to this kind of inquiry is, I know myself, and what good does that do me? I mean, I am still in trouble. I still suffer. I have anxieties, fears. I have all the problems of samsara. I know myself, and I still have all those problems. So these are the obstacles. These are why we don't really understand what the path of knowledge is. The path of knowledge says that, no, what you think you know about yourself is just the tip of the iceberg, is the surface of the ocean. There is 10,000 feet of water underneath the surface of the ocean. 9/10 of the proverbial iceberg is unseen. The reality about yourself is startling, extraordinary, frankly unbelievable, and yet it's there right now. So this is this great secret which the path of knowledge seeks to uncover, and it promises knowing about yourself is not useless. In fact, it's the most useful thing. It solves all your problems at the deepest level immediately, forever. In fact, shows you there never were any problems. You were all right. So it's quite different from the other paths. I'm distinguishing it from the path of believing in God and devotion, path of devotion. I'm distinguishing it from the path of doing good works selflessly. I'm distinguishing it from the path of even meditation, quietening the mind down, calmness, looking inwards. But be careful here. At no point does the path of knowledge, path of inquiry, say that the meditation and devotion and selfless action are not necessary. They are most necessary. In classical Advaita Vedanta, if we are told again and again, if we do not engage in karma yoga, if we do not have some kind of deep religious faith, if we do not have control over our mind, the ability to calm down and focus, we are not going to get very far in the path of knowledge. We may come to some sort of understanding, but that's what it all will be. At the end, we will complain, that's cool, that's a very nice philosophy, but I'm still the same. All those big promises, all your problems will be solved forever. There never were any problems. You're perfectly all right. You are this infinite existence, consciousness, bliss. You are immortal. None of that seems to be real for me, even after reading all this and hearing all this. That's because the other yogas have not been done properly. If the other yogas have been done with commitment, then the path of knowledge, it flashes, it becomes real very soon. Think of it as different paradigms. And this is a useful way of thinking about it. In the path of devotion, the problem and the solution. In the path of devotion, the problem is lack of faith, lack of belief in God, and the solution is faith in God, devotion, adoration, love of God. In the path of meditation, the problem is the restlessness of the mind, and the solution is calming and focusing the mind. In the path of karma yoga, the problem is this tremendous self-centeredness, this focus on the little person. And the solution is selflessness, altruism, and broadening out the ego to make it all more inclusive, broader. Then what is the problem and the solution in the path of knowledge? The problem is ignorance about our real nature, something which is already there. And the solution is knowledge about our real nature, about your real nature, my real nature, something already here, right now, forever. Why is it called the path of self-inquiry? So the path of knowledge, knowledge comes from where? Knowledge comes from inquiry. Any kind of knowledge we want, you have to inquire into it. You go to, ask Google nowadays, or earlier we used to go to a library, look it up, or ask somebody wise, go to a teacher. It's inquiry. You inquire, you ask a question, you pursue it, you look into it. This pursuing it, looking into it, inquiring about it, that is the path of self-inquiry, because it leads to knowledge, knowledge about the self, and knowledge about the self sets us free from the bondage of samsara, sets us free from suffering. The whole purpose is that, whole purpose of all of spirituality is to transcend suffering and attain fulfillment. And why spirituality? That is the purpose of life. Whether we purpose in the sense, that's what we are all doing all the time, whether we acknowledge it or not. Whatever you have been doing till now and whatever you will continue to do in your life until that point of enlightenment is trying to seek fulfillment and trying to overcome suffering. Think about it. We honestly look up upon all our efforts and the efforts of people all around us, not just people, every sentient being, every animal, insect is basically trying to avoid suffering, attain some kind of fulfillment. That we get in the path of knowledge, and in all spirituality, specifically in the path of knowledge, when we realize who or what we truly are. All right, that's all by the way of introduction. What did Sri Krishna say? It's quite interesting, as Swamiji pointed out, that he started with self-knowledge. He didn't build up to it. Arjuna's question was in no sense about self-knowledge. It was not even a Vedantic question. He had an ethical dilemma. He didn't know what to do, and he asked Krishna. Krishna didn't give him a class on ethics. Krishna didn't even give him a class on karma yoga, bhakti yoga, or raja yoga. Didn't tell him, sit down in this way, let this be your posture, take a breath, Arjuna, deep breath, be mindful. No, none of that. He straight away went. Of course, as Swamiji pointed out, the first thing he said was, you have to be ready to change. You have to be ready to stand up and take charge of your life. This message of strength. That's even before Jnana Yoga, before the path of knowledge, before self-knowledge. Before anything else, we must be ready to change and have that confidence. I can make a better life. I can stand up and do what is necessary in life. Then spirituality works. Anything works, even therapy, psychology, anything will work only when we are ready to change. What did Krishna say? What did he teach? As we shall see now, it's pretty direct and pretty stunning what he said. Basically, what I'll talk about, it's all there in the verses in the second chapter, almost from the time Krishna starts speaking, from the 11th verse to say about the 25th verse. Second chapter from verse number 11 to 25. That is the teaching about the self, about the Atman. Atman means the self. It just means you, your nature, what you are. I will not go through the verses. We don't have time for that. I'll just do this a little differently. What I'll do is transmit the essence of the verses, and you can take it in a sense of an inquiry into experience. So I'm starting right now. I still hadn't started, but right now what I'm going to say is the essence. It's like going to be a 15-minute TED talk on self-knowledge. It's going to be a look into experience. What experience? Whose experience? Which experience? Your experience and the experience that you are having right now, each of us, what we are having right now. Krishna invited Arjuna to take a look into his experience, and that's what we're going to do now. Take a look into our experience right now. What is experience? Can we define a general definition for any kind of experience? Yes, there's an elegant definition in Vedanta. Consciousness plus an object is equal to experience. Let me repeat that. Consciousness. By consciousness, what I mean, the same thing which I will use words like consciousness, awareness, even a word which I like very much. It's popular in this new Vedanta circles these days, presence. Presence includes elements of awareness and existence. You are, and you are also aware. That's presence. Your consciousness, awareness, presence, plus an object gives you an experience. What do I mean by that? You are aware. All of us are. And in your awareness, you are aware of many things. Sometimes you see things and you hear things. Right now, you are seeing, you are hearing. You are also aware generally of the temperature in the room. You're aware of a sense of the body, of the chair or the couch you're sitting on. Maybe a little bit aware of the presence of if there's another person in the room, presence of the surroundings. All of these things, these are objects. The person, the sound, and the gadgets, sense of your own body and the temperature in the room. These are objects, and they are all revealed by awareness. That is experience. Here is the Gita, a book, and this book, I am aware of this book. So awareness plus object is an experience of seeing this book. Yes, of course, in between there is this light reflected of the book, and that comes to my eyes, and from the eyes it goes through the the nervous system to some part of the brain, and then there it is presented to the mind, and in the mind I have a perception of the book, but it's all in awareness. In awareness, I see, oh, I am seeing a book. Just like that. It could be a book, it could be a person, whatever it is, consciousness plus object is experience. It's simple and elegant definition of experience. Now let us look at our experiences. Notice all perceptions, experience of all objects of the senses. By objects of the senses, I mean whatever we are seeing, whatever we are hearing, whatever you see, you are seeing it, you're aware of it, you are conscious of it. In awareness, in consciousness, you see people and animals and colors and shapes, far and near, all of that. All sounds are experienced in awareness. All smells, all tastes, all sensations of heat and cold and pressure and pain and pleasure, all of these sensations, these perceptions are inputs from our sense organs. 5 sense organs, 5 sets of perceptions arise. They are nothing more, all of them are in awareness, are experienced by consciousness, you the consciousness. Notice the consciousness remaining the same, the awareness remaining the same, the perceptions keep changing. When you look at the book and you look at the glasses, notice the book and the glasses are different. This is one object, that's another object. But the awareness which saw both is the same awareness. It's a simple fact, but it's of utmost importance. In all our perceptions, in all the perceptions that come and go through the 5 senses, in all these modalities, awareness is not changing. Consciousness is not changing. Then what is changing? The objects are changing. Therefore, our experiences are changing. Let me repeat that. Nobody can doubt we have different experiences. That's our life, isn't it? Our life is like a continuous movie which is full of experiences. See, hear, smell, taste, touch, think, desire, understand, remember, forget, love, hate, wake, dream, fall asleep. All are experiences. So experiences are very, very different from each other. This is a series and very different, changing all the time. But why are experiences changing all the time? Why are experiences different? If they're different because the objects of experience keep changing. But the experiencing awareness, does it change? I'm not forcing something upon you. I want you to come to an appreciation of whether the experiencing awareness changes, whether the consciousness is changing. Does that change? It does not. More you think about it, we'll see. Not just the objects of the senses. We have an inner world, each of us. We have an inner world, thoughts, ideas, memories, desires, various kinds of emotions. These are all lit up by the same awareness. Various thoughts and feelings come and go. The awareness is constant. Thoughts keep changing from the morning till now. How many thoughts? Excited, bored, curious, sleepy, alert. Uh, all kinds of thoughts have come. Ideas have come and gone. Same awareness. Awareness is constant. That is, it's like the light in this room. And there are people and books and tables and chairs. Things change, people come in and out of the room. The light is constant. The light which falls upon this notebook and the light which falls upon and reveals these glasses, when it falls upon the notebook, the light doesn't become attached to the notebook. It just illumines it. And same light, I put the glasses in its place, the glasses are illumined by the same light. The notebook light doesn't stick to the notebook. When I take the notebook away, the light doesn't go away. It doesn't become a little more dim because the notebook has gone away with a bit of the light. No, neither do the glasses. The light doesn't stick to the glasses. Similarly, consciousness does not stick to any of its objects. Consciousness is not reduced or increased because of the presence or absence of objects, coming and going of objects. Various experiences are generated. Objects are of two kinds. Externally coming, so-called externally coming through the senses, and internally, which are unique to each of us. Private experiences, which we call our own private world of thoughts, memories, desires, ideas. But they all come and go. They are all objects, subtle objects, but they are all illumined by the one constant awareness. Go further. Emotions. So important in our life. Love, attraction, liking. So liking, it becomes attraction, that becomes love. Or dislike, repulsion, hatred. These are also objects. Emotions are also objects which are revealed by awareness. Awareness doesn't stick to them. They do not stick to awareness. The same awareness which revealed the feeling of liking at one time for a certain thing, now reveals the feeling of dislike for that thing. That does not mean the awareness is happy or unhappy. Awareness has likes or dislikes. See, the awareness stuck to the liking. It would have always been liking. When the liking went away, the awareness would have gone away with it also. It didn't. The awareness is very Teflon coated, it's non-sticky. Things come and go, it just shines. Memories. Memories are also revealed by the same awareness, a variety of memories, nostalgia, longing, things of the past, memories which bring forth reactions of guilt and unhappiness, fading memories, doubtful memories. All of these appear, play around, and disappear in the same beam of light, which we call our awareness, our consciousness. Even waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. This entire world of waking experiences, which includes perceptions, includes thoughts, includes memories, includes emotions, includes even the sense of I, this person. All of this is revealed by this one constant light, awareness. Notice, and we are talking about our experience right now. Nothing theoretical here. We're just pointing that out. Now, this whole waking experience disappears and is replaced by the dream experience. What we call our world, it's so amazing. Every night when you fall asleep, the whole thing disappears and is replaced by a virtual world of places and people and activities, dreams, a virtual world. Same awareness continues. What was there in the waking is now there in the dream. It reveals the dream world. Not only the world disappears sometimes, you, the experiencer of the world, this person, that also disappears. Deep sleep. The world is gone, and the little person, Sarvapriyananda, who was experiencing Sarvapriyananda's world, the person who was experiencing Sarvapriyananda's dreams. The dreams have gone, the waking world has gone, Sarvapriyananda also has gone. Deep sleep. And yet that's an experience. It's worth thinking about. I won't stay there now because Krishna does not talk about that, but that's also an experience. And again, the waking comes back again. The waking world and the Sarvapriyananda, the person experiencing it. Why am I saying all this? Because all of this goes to prove the first thing that Sri Krishna says. This awareness, this consciousness, this luminosity, this illuminating light, this is who we really are. This is the Atman. It's not a thing, it's not a person, it's that which reveals all things and persons. So this luminosity, this constant light, the first thing which Sri Krishna says to Arjuna, and uses a number of words for that. It's like his main theme. You do not die. He uses words like nitya, eternal. He uses words like abhyaya, unchanging. See, this awareness, it's unchanging. In and through all experiences, like a golden thread running through a garland. It is this light of awareness running in and through all experiences. That is basically unchanging. The experiences are changing. And why are experiences changing? Because remember, experience is equal to awareness plus object. Objects of experiences are changing. Awareness is constant. So he says it is eternal. Why eternal? Because unchanging. That which is unchanging cannot die. It's unchanging. It cannot be born. This awareness was not born. The body was born. This awareness will not die. The body will die. This awareness does not grow old. It will reveal an aging body. This awareness does not grow sick. It will reveal a sick body. This awareness cannot be killed. If you're pierced by arrows, it's battlefield, remember. We're hit by arrows or by a sword. This is that sword cannot cut it or the arrows cannot pierce it. None of the elements, fire and water, and none of them can damage or destroy this awareness. They act on each other. An arrow can hit a body and kill a body. Both are revealed by the same awareness, which you are. So this is the first theme. You, the awareness, do not die. You're not born either. You do not grow old. You do not grow sick. You cannot be killed. He puts it in different languages. Yes, the bodies grow old. Bodies die. But it's just like changing a suit of clothes. You change one set of clothes which are soiled, you put another set of clothes, the awareness just goes from one body, it appears to put on one body after another, and the body dies. It cannot be destroyed by weapons or the five elements. It does not die when the body dies, just like changing a suit of clothes. It's just like, he says, as the body goes from babyhood to childhood, to middle age, to old age, you're still the same person. Similarly, this awareness experiences different states of the body. Then, one more point he makes. This is one. The awareness is constant, therefore eternal, immortal. You are constant, eternal, immortal, but experiencing a whirlwind, a storm of objects, giving rise to a whirlwind of experiences which you call the life of the person. Second, in the 16th verse, he makes of the second chapter, Krishna makes a stunning observation. This awareness is real and the objects it experiences are false. This awareness is the reality and the objects it experiences as if they are separate, independent things out there. That's not real. That's an appearance. The things of the world, the people of the world, the activities of the world, they are all appearances. They are no more than a movie playing on the screen of awareness. You are that awareness. You are the reality. And whatever you experience is an appearance. Appearance of what? Of yourself. You appear as your own experience, your own object. Remember the equation. Awareness plus object is equal to experience. First, this awareness is eternal. Second, now Krishna is saying, this awareness is real. And the objects of awareness are not real. Not real in the sense, we will see. They are appearances. That awareness alone appears as its own objects. This is the famous non-dual dictum. Brahman is real, the world is an appearance, and you are none other than Brahman. Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya Jiva Brahmaiva Napara. And the 16th verse of this chapter, very important verse. That's why I have dedicated an entire session later today for that 16th verse. We'll see. The whole point, you, the awareness, are real, and your objects, whatever you experience, they are appearances. They are like a magic show. They're like a movie on the screen. You are the screen. The world that you experience is a movie playing on you. The third thing he says is he uses words like aprameya, not an object of knowledge, abhyakta, not manifest. This awareness which you are, this consciousness, this Atman, is not an object. You say, fair enough. No, not fair enough. It's not an it's not an object. It is not something that is knowable as a knowable object. What does that mean? It's not something that can be seen, heard, smelled, tasted. When you are seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting something, then you are the one which is doing that. Whatever you are hearing, smelling, tasting is not you. It's an object. You, the awareness, are not an object. You, the awareness, are not revealed by any of the senses. Not only that, Krishna says, achintya ayam. This is not revealed by thought also. You, the awareness, the Atman, you cannot even be thought about. Swami, aren't we thinking about it now? Yes, sort of. But what are we thinking about? Think about that. What are we thinking about exactly? And he said, think about this book, the Gita. It's very clear. You know what you're thinking about. This thing, this book. I know something about it. When I say think about the Atman, or I'll make it easier. Think about yourself. That's easy, Swami. But what exactly are you thinking about? You will notice you're thinking about your body, you're thinking about you, the person, you're thinking about events in your life, people in your life, whatever it is, objects. Curiously enough, you cannot make yourself an object of your experience. You cannot make, awareness cannot become its own object. Descartes, the famous French philosopher, who started on this quest of, what can I be certain about? And he tried to deny whatever could be denied. It could all be an illusion. We could be living in the matrix. It's pretty much like what Krishna is saying. It's all an appearance. But then he found that he could not deny himself. He says, I can't deny my own existence. I exist because I think. I think, therefore I exist. Cogito ergo sum, the very famous thing. But in his meditations, he says something very curious. He says, it's clear. The thing that I'm certain about, the one thing that we are all certain about is that we exist. I exist. We exist also, I cannot say, but I exist. That is, there's no doubt about it. Because even to deny that I exist, I do not exist. I have to think that. And that's very clear. I have to exist to think that I do not exist. So my own existence, Descartes says, I'm very clear about. And then he makes an observation. Many people don't, it's there in the original meditations of Descartes. He says, how curious it is that the one thing that I'm certain about, I seem to know nothing about it. The one thing I'm certain, what is that? I exist. But what is it that I exist? What is it like? What are the things? Please tell me 10 things about myself, that thing which exists, which is the real thing. I can't say anything about it. And he says, what I'm not at all certain about, this world, I seem to know a lot about it. Let me repeat that. Descartes, he came so close, but he missed it. He came so close. He says, it's so curious that what I am certain about, my own existence, I seem to know nothing about. Nothing seems to be knowable about it. And what I am not at all certain about, this world, I seem to know so much about it. It's in the meditations. Krishna says that is because the world is an object of your experience. It is knowable by your 5 senses. It is thinkable by your mind and memory and intellect. You can do scientific experiments on it. You can get a lot of information about it. But you, the Atman, the consciousness, is not an object. Therefore, it cannot be revealed by consciousness, by yourself. You cannot reveal it by any of the senses. You cannot think about it with your mind. You cannot perform scientific experiments with it. No. So is it unknowable? Is it forever unknown? Not even that. Swami Vivekananda says, you must not go away with the idea that it is unknown and unknowable. It is more than known. It is more than known. What do you mean by more than known? It is the one revealing all knowledge. It is like the eyes. Everything that I see are revealed by the eyes. Why do I know that there is a book on the table? Because I see it. Why do I know that there are 212 people here? Because I see, the computer tells me there are 212 people here. How do I know that my eyes are there? I don't see it. You say, Swami, look at your picture in the camera, in the Zoom. You can see your eyes. No, but that's a picture of my eyes. If you look at what you see on the screen, it's a picture of your. If you look at what you see on the mirror, it's a reflection of your eyes. You are not seeing the eyes directly, just like the eyes see this book directly. That way, the eyes do not see themselves directly. They can't. Similarly, awareness cannot objectify itself the way it objectifies everything else. But just like the existence of the eyes is undoubted, whatever you see, whatever I see, proves to me that my eyes exist. When I see the book, it not only proves to me that there is a book, it also proves to me that I have working eyes. Anything, when I see all of you, it not only proves to me that you are there, but it proves to me that my eyes are working. Similarly, every experience, whatever you see, smell, taste, touch, think, understand, remember, desire, hate, all of that proves to you one thing. You are awareness. You are conscious. You are consciousness. You are aware. I'm not saying you are awareness. I'm saying you are awareness. It proves the existence of awareness, proves the existence of consciousness. Consciousness is self-revealed. This is the technical term for that in Vedanta is swaprakasha, self-illuminated or self-revealed, self-shining. Like light shines forth, in the same way consciousness, more so, consciousness is continuously revealing itself. So it is not an object. The great philosopher Hume, he said, what is this self? When I look within myself, in my own experiences, I do not find anything corresponding to the so-called self. I find a series of thoughts, emotions, ideas, but beyond that, a self, I don't find it. And Vedanta says, Krishna says to Hume, and the Vedanta masters say to Hume, Hume, you are making a big mistake. You cannot find the self. You cannot find the Atman because you're looking in the wrong place. You're making a fundamental mistake. You're looking for the Atman, the self, as an object. Whatever you find is an object, but that to which these objects are revealed, that is consciousness. That is the Atman. So the third point is that the Atman is not an object. It is not an object of knowledge, of thought, of intellect, of the senses. No. Krishna says aprameya, not an object. Avyakta, not manifest. Achintya, not thinkable, but that which enables all thinking to happen. It's like the screen of the movie. The screen of the movie is not an object in the movie. You see? And the screen of the movie is that on which all the objects of the movie appear. But it's not a part. The screen of an object is not a part, is not a character in the movie. You have the hero and the villain and the comedian and the screen. No, not like that. The screen is that on which all this thing is playing. You, the awareness, are the screen of the movie of your life. Then one more point that Krishna says, he says it's all pervading. It is one. Very important point. This is not only eternal, not only the reality, not only not an object, but it is that which pervades every experience. We'll go into that later on. Notice in every experience is possible in consciousness, because of consciousness. I'll put it this way. Whatever appears to you in your life appears to consciousness, to awareness, appears in awareness, and is nothing but awareness. I'll repeat that. Whatever happens in life, you look at a cookie and you look at, maybe one day you'll be fortunate enough to see God. You see the mundane things in life, one day maybe we will experience divinity itself. But what Vedanta says is, all of it is appearing to you, the one awareness. Not only is it appearing to you, but it's appearing in awareness. We'll talk about that later if there's a question about it, and take some explaining. And even further, in the second session, we will see it's not only appearing in awareness, it is nothing but that awareness, appearing as its own object. Think of it as for example, a dream. Whatever you see in your dream, you see a person, a place, maybe a cup of coffee. It appears as if the cup of coffee is appearing to you. But really, is it appearing as something external and appearing to you? There was a cup of coffee, now you're seeing it in your dream? No. When you wake up from the dream, you realize there was no cup of coffee out there. It was all imagined in the mind. So it was, the cup of coffee was in your mind, in the dream, in the dreamer's mind. Not only was it in the dreamer's mind, it was nothing other than the dreamer's mind. It was the mind alone which appeared as that cup of coffee. Similarly, this entire universe, it seems as if it is appearing to you, but it's actually appearing in you, and it's actually nothing but you. Krishna just uses a word, sarvavyapi. He says sarvagata. He says sarvamidam tatam. Everything that you experience here is pervaded by that one awareness, which is you. And finally, this one awareness, Krishna says, it neither slays nor is slain. You say, but didn't you already say it cannot be slain? It's indestructible. No, he's making a different point here. In Sanskrit, these words are called akatta abhokta. It is not a doer of actions. And it is not the experiencer of the pleasure and pain of the actions. Has to understand very carefully here. Take the example of the movie. In the movie, there is the cop chasing the robber in a cop car, and there's a car chase going on. Tremendous action is going on. Shall we say that the movie screen is chasing the robber, driving a car? No. The movie screen is not doing anything at all. It is, and on that appears all of these activities. You, the awareness is, and in it appears all of these activities. You are that awareness. From that perspective, you are not the doer of the activities. Who is the doer then? That's your assignment. I'm leaving it to you. Think it out. Who is the doer? And I'll give you a hint. The doer is none other than that awareness. In the sense, the same movie example. Who is driving the car? In that case, if the screen is, if you say the only reality is the screen in the movie, then who is driving the car? You say, if you insist that there is a car being driven and the cops are chasing the robbers, then you have to say it is the screen alone, which enables the whole thing to happen. But in that case, you have to say the screen is the driver of this car, the screen is the car, and the movie screen is the robber, and the getaway car and all of that. The whole thing is nothing but the screen. And in other words, the screen alone is. The rest is an appearance, a movie going on there. Consciousness is like that, not the doer of actions. If you're not the doer of actions, then what happens is you are free of the cycle of karma. It's a huge implication you derive from that. Good and bad, all of that happens. The Atman enables all of that to happen. Atman reveals all of that, and yet is completely untouched by that. You are free of doership. You are free of agentship. You're free even of being the particular individual subject which experiences the pleasures and pains. Though, other than the Atman, there is no individual subject which experiences pleasure and pain. Swami Virajanandaji, who was the president of our order, he beautifully said, the entire world, including this body, is revealed to me at once. So either I am all of it or none of it. See, what happens is we identify ourselves with one, this body, this character in the movie. And then the whole thing becomes real for me. And then the struggle starts, samsara starts. But if I say that, what does the screen say about the movie? It says that I am none of it. There is no tragedy, there is no horror show, there is no science fiction show, there is no comedy. I am just a screen. But if you insist, but all this is going on, there are terrible, great things happening, horrible things happening, wonderful things happening. There's a lot of fun and happiness. There's a lot of tears and sadness. How can you deny it? Then the screen will have to say that then I'm all of it. There's none of this is anything different from me. You, the awareness, You are the entirety of life, not just one life. All lives, past, present, and future. In fact, past, present, and future exist in you. Where is time experienced if not in awareness? Where is space experienced if not in awareness? One monk in Uttarakhand put it nicely. When the teacher was saying, you are all pervading, the monk said, hey, wait a minute. This actually happened. Wait a minute. I am sitting here. It's a big hall. I'm sitting here. I'm not even sitting there. How can I be all pervading? I'm here, not there. See, I'm here in Manhattan. I'm not there in Dallas. How can I be all pervading? I'm here in this little chair. I'm not even pervading this one room. How can I be all pervading? And the answer was stunning from the master. He said, but here and there, are they not both in you, the awareness? You see the stunning nature of that reply. In a dream, you're walking, say, in Central Park outside, the vast sky and the fall colors and the lake and but when you wake up, the sky and the lake and the fall colors and all the people walking around, even you there walking around, all of it was in you. Here and there, the people near you and the sky far above and near you, both were in you, the dreamer. So, but that's a dream. How is this so different? How is this so different? So, I mean, Nikhilanandaji, in his book on his translations of the Upanishads, when one place he translates the Mandukya Upanishad, he has added an appendix where he methodically, he's using Gaudapada's arguments, he methodically erases the difference between dream and waking. It's more stunning than most science fiction. You know, every possible objection you can have, that, but that's a dream, this is real. He shows you that no, none of the arguments stand. He can show that whatever you say about the waking, he can show the same thing is true of the dream. So this is called Akarta Abhokta. Summing up what Krishna said to Arjuna at the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita. This awareness, this consciousness, it does not change. It is eternal, not born, not die, does not get or cannot be killed, does not age, does not sicken. It is the only real thing. Everything that appears to consciousness is an appearance. Third, it is not an object. Fourth, he says it is all pervading. It's one. There is nothing other than this. Whatever you experience is that only, appearing as its own object. And finally, it is not the doer of actions, and is not the enjoyer or sufferer of the results of actions. The actions and its results are all part of the movie. This is the essence, the foundation, the core of Jnana Yoga, the path of knowledge. Know this, you are set free forever. In fact, you not only set free, you realize you are free forever. You still go on living, still go on the movie, let the movie go on. You don't have to switch off the movie. It's fine. The screen has no objection to the movie. You have no problem with the movie. You can enjoy the movie now. You can enjoy a horror show, you can enjoy a comedy, you can enjoy a tragedy. All of it's fine from your perspective. Good. Actually, I'm done for the entire workshop. All of what I will do from now on will just be elaboration on, on what I just said. All of what Krishna did in the 18 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita, actually 17 chapters from second chapter onwards till the end, is basically elaboration on what he said there. Of course, all of this I'm speaking from an Advaita Vedanta perspective. So all of what he does afterwards in the other 17 chapters is just elaboration on the core teaching of the Atman, of awareness itself, which you are, which he gave at the very beginning. Arjuna does not understand. Of course, he asks questions on his own behalf, on behalf of us, questions about God, about karma, about practicality, about meditation, about devotion, down to about food and rest and sleep and whatnot. Every little thing he asks, how to deal with life, and Krishna gives answers. They all follow from this teaching.